Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from JKS, checking in on the solar sector, and I wind well that one ticker NEE and that clean energy ETF. One of these days, I'm gonna remember all of them. All right. So hopefully you guys took some of those trades back here. We set up this trade. I forget when, last Wednesday or so. And now with the Biden administration signaling that there will be more supportive, I guess you could call that, legislation for policy towards clean energy, the sector is, riding on a bit of hype. Okay. So you can see, why I love looking left for those previous closes, previous highest closes, which I guess you could say was this one. Oh, why did we use that one all the way up there? I forget. Maybe there's another level back here. I'm not gonna go crazy with the zooming. I would try at least not to go crazy with the zooming. But okay, yes, I think we were looking at levels back there. So I apologize for starting off with this massive crazy zoom action. All right, so we were looking for the potential of a little bit of a pullback to position for an add today or maybe a new initiation, but I guess was just a bit too conservative, right? Or actually, that was from yesterday. Yeah, oh, I see what happened. Just a bit too conservative, so I guess bottom fishing these supports was the ticket, but without having the oversold conditions at our back 5 minute, I was just, I like to be a bit more cautious. By all means, if you are feeling frisky and want to be a bit more aggressive, then go for it. But this is probably due to the news as well. Such a strong start right off the bat. Actually, there was probably a opening range break play um, on the day today. I can almost guarantee you there would. Yeah, there was, right? So one of my favorite actually opening range break play is the pullback to the low of the extended hours session. And what I will normally do is I will scale all the way down to one of the last higher lows of the regular trading hour session because I have more confidence in that low compared to the lows in extended hours, right? So I would be starting from the lower half, right? And I would be scaling down into there, and then you can run your stop loss somewhere a bit below, maybe the next low, right? All right, and then or the low of the day, I guess, because it's so close. I probably default to the low of the day, and you would just be looking to test the PM high and then the measured move of the entire extended hours range, which of course it does hit right away, practically right away. Back it up just like that. All right, so you would get one target that would be 2-1 on your money, and the other target would be like 4-1 on your money. All right, so I call it the static orb, the pullback and go play for the opening range break plays. That's my favorite opening range break play. And sometimes they're just perfect. They just go right to the PM low and then they just rip. But of course, I always like to take into account a little bit more. And ideally, you'll have oversold conditions. All right, so you can see today with extended hours on, we have it, but because I set these trades up the night before, I like to leave them off. It's more accurate for like hourly plays. Okay. All right, so we're just watching this hourly trend now to see how much daily bounce follow through we can get. We know that all-time high resistance is up here. Wait a second. Yes, at 12366. I believe this is all-time high. Ah, no, it is not. I forget. Okay, so but we don't really have a lot of volume up here, so we're not terribly concerned with that. But resistance to resistance, we have a double top resistance here to watch at 123.66. When there has been an hourly, each hourly candle has had a higher low since this candle here, and really all this sideways. This is really just for the most part like one move up, really. So we'll be mindful of the daily EQ potential because this is so much range. But whenever we do pull back for an hourly higher low, we can be like looking here, right, where there's all this structure back here, this consolidation structure. So if we were to do a fit pull, maybe you'd see that it would line up with the 382 pretty well. So maybe you want to be a bit more conservative and line it up like that, and make sure that you are doing so in your 5-minute oversold conditions. And they would be oversold. They would be oversold up here, but I have a feeling we'll chop about and whatnot. So I prefer to leave it like that. So looking for an hourly higher low somewhere like that, back tested this chop range, and we'll see if the bulls can change the hourly trend before taking out this daily low and maybe see some new local highs. All right. So key support that we're looking out for tomorrow, I would say, is 113.32 was the last hourly higher low, and there's no sign of bears yet. Okay. All right, so JKS falling just shy of our target here. And I know that there's been a top made here before. On the hourly chart, there have been a few tops right here. So that's, oh, actually, we did hit the target today. Excellent. So this trade has now hit the target, and we are looking for the potential to test the upper boundaries as well, perhaps lifted by this news, because we have been consolidating and we're watching the potential of this to be a monthly bull flag. And so perhaps if there's some more, because the news takes time to be digested, right? Maybe it takes a little bit more time, and then a second wave comes, we'll see. But either way, we keep a technical trade the chart. And so if you left the runner on, I would say you're probably good. You can leave it under this low here, and maybe that it'll stick. But if you didn't leave a runner on, I don't blame you. You got your 17% trade. Just take it, right? You got two fills on it, 17%. That's good money, right? And your risk, because you moved your stop loss, probably was so low, so your actual RR was phenomenal. Anyway, so we're just going to be, the daily low here is set at 57.67, and we're just watching the double top resistance here at 69.62, but pretty strong close. So we've just be mindful of the hourly trend to see if we can get more daily bounce follow through. And you can see we're kind of stalling here at this, where these tops were printed in the past. So whenever we pull back, we'll be looking for an hourly higher low over 64.19. There's plenty of space for the bulls to do so. And if you were looking for a position tomorrow, then you just want to be doing your shopping like somewhere over here in 5-minute oversold conditions, right? Just making sure that 5-minute oversold conditions are present when you are doing your scales. And so if the bulls can hold this low of 64.19 and break to higher highs over 68.98, they'll continue this hourly trend, and we'll see some more daily bounce follow through. And then bears can be looking to top fish up here in hourly overbought conditions, but don't fight like such a hype sector. This is a very aggressive play. If anything, maybe you'd be like selling, if it's like a hedge for a position that you put on over here. All right, I can see that, right? Maybe you sell some calls against it or something, try to get a credit if we like bounce back for a higher low. Okay, I understand that. But if you're like just trying to short this thing because for just as a short, I think there are probably better assets to look short on. All right, because again, remember, potential monthly bull flag. All right. Okay, so run played out pretty well, right? We got that fill yesterday, gave us an opportunity to take profit, and like I discussed yesterday, we were fine with this level because it would be hourly oversold again, right? And it was, and we are looking for the potential of some divergence to set up with the RSI making a higher low compared to these lows over here, right? Compared to these price action. Let me zoom in a little bit. Right, so we had RSI from here make a higher low. This is a higher low compared to these lows over here, but price made lower lows, right? These lows were taken out by this low. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so we were fine with grabbing our second scale there and leaving our third scale down there in case things got really extreme, but of course they didn't. And so now today we have these. If you didn't take anything off yesterday, you're in a great position because your average price is here, and now you are chilling 9% off of your average price, and you can, if you wanted to, you can move your stop loss over here now, so your RR is phenomenal. Okay, even to just be here, it's phenomenal, right? Yeah. So we're just watching the hourly trend now. Whenever we pull back, well, we've technically already begun hourly consolidation, so now the bulls are scouting for an hourly higher low over 79.41. And if they can hold this low of 79.41 and break to higher highs over 89.51, they'll change that hourly trend, and we'll see some more daily bounce follow through and head up and test. Is this an all-time high name? This one's an all-time high name. Yes, we'll head up and test all-time highs, which is 193. So pretty much 100 psych. Shorts are on the table as well. Top fishing, but same thing applies, right? It's been consolidating well, and it's also in a hype sector. Okay. So, caution with shorts. Although with this much range, I would anticipate a daily lower high. All right. So I do like that trade. All right. So Oh no, I've got all my indicators on, or at least it's one of my lighter templates. Hope it's not too busy. Okay, so shorts are looking over here, and longs, this is the old trade, so we don't want this anymore. Longs are probably looking for like something like that in 5-minute oversold conditions, bottom fishing these lows. All right. Okay, so FSLR is, well, let's start with the daily time frame. Let me clean up my chart for you. Alrighty. What is this channel every day? Oh no, it should be the, okay, yes. All right, so we are range bound on FSLR still. We are currently closing pretty strong at the end of the day, but we are in resistances where we have rejected many times before. And so far, price has been unable to come up and test the upper boundaries of this channel. It's been a long time since we've tested the upper resistance line. So we're being mindful of that, but as long as we're going sideways, because we came from bullish activity, that is a point to the bulls, and this level continues to get held. This is a key line in the sand, this 96 level, 97 level or so. All right, so in order for us, we'll just be mindful now, because we're at resistance, we got to be very mindful of this hourly trend. If the bears are able to take this trend, then we'll look for a daily high or low, with anything over 96.29 being one. But as of now, it was a strong close, no bears in sight yet, but as you can see, they can show very quickly. So we'll just be mindful of that. That's pretty much it really for FSLR. Just range bound, so we're just going to be playing the range. But at this point, I wouldn't fault you if you were looking for a daily high or low, right? Like if you were to bottom fish here looking for a higher low, I think that's a very reasonable play. Yeah, looking for that center line to hold again. The standard deviation band, 21 EMA. But although there are names that, well, I guess this would be more of a laggard play. If you were in already over here and you've taken profit, this is the play for you, because you can potentially get bigger on that trade. But as a new trade, I don't love it as much. All right. Cut a little short, I think, because I have an appointment. Okay, so NEE broke to all-time highs now, and you can see that we've held the previous all-time high. So that's nice that you've got a close above the previous all-time high, which was 83.34. And of course, we've already gotten many closes over the previous highest close, so that's good. So we're just gonna, same thing, we'll be mindful of the hourly trend. It looks like potentially it has changed today. Yes, well, no, it's currently a double bottom, but the bears are currently on the verge of changing this trend bearish. All right, and if they are able to take out this low, will defend this lower high of 84.75 and break 83.65, they'll change the hourly trend and have us looking for a daily higher low with anything over 78.54 being one. So there's quite a lot of space for bulls to work with here. All right, so if that were the case, if looking for that daily higher low, we'll be looking somewhere around there. The back test of those levels, ideally in hourly oversold conditions. That's about right. Can probably be a bit more, something like that. Okay, and ideally we'll be in hourly oversold conditions, looking for that daily higher low. And finally, I clean. Oh, didn't quite get down to where I was interested. Man, I thought it wouldn't get so low, right? Because it's just been so bullish. I didn't expect a full gap fill, but I thought, maybe I already thought this was kind of aggressive starting in the middle. But lo and behold, here we are. There was a stop buy play today that I mentioned to a member, and it was based off of this channel structure, right? So while we can't, ideally we make plays off of the channel support, when you see the channel break like this violently, or if you anticipate that break, right? This was a stop buy situation. It should actually be here, where I was telling the member that if we break this resistance here at 31.59 and hold this low here of 30.97, technically that's an hourly trend continuation, right? Hourly higher low and higher high outside of our resistance line, which would be very bullish. So that's a situation where I would use a stop buy, and this is set up here because I just thought you should take profit here. It's 1-to-1 on your money, lower your cost basis, and then you can look for extended targets further on. Okay, so I can just delete that. So this trade probably not setting up, but we would still be interested if it came down there for sure. I would like it like this now, something like that. And this is enough space that when we pull back, the bulls will be scouting an hourly higher low. So anything over, anything over 30.97 will be one, and we'll probably look somewhere whereabouts here, where all this structure was in the past, where this high got put in. And ideally we'll have 5-minute oversold condition, so probably something like that. And I'm fairly confident that the 5-minute would be oversold somewhere around there. Yeah. Alright, so that's what we're looking out for, watching this hourly trend to see if there will be any more daily bounce follow through. No sign of bears yet. All-time high resistance is in play at 34.25. Alright, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.